Okay, here's a quick playthrough of our solitaire mode that I've been working on. You set it up like any other game. So you have your two center rows, and you can see that I've set aside 40 brass on the side instead of 50 in a standard sort of two-player game. Helps the solitaire mode go quickly and be a little bit more competitive. So the player goes first. You can see here that I have 3 clerks and 2 union workers. And I've also selected Omni Ito as my reserve faction in this case. So player turns are like they are in the normal game. So I have 3 and 2. And I'm going to purchase this Shock Saboteur for 3. And with my 2 construction, I'm going to purchase, I'm just going to mine for 1. For now. So I put all this in my discard pile. Now the opponent takes their turn. Sort of the AI or automatic sort of virtual opponent that we're playing against. So on his first 6 turns, all the AI does is he mines for 1 brass point, and he purchases the employee to the rightmost side and puts it over here, so he'll get the value of whatever that card was. And then, unlike other games, we shift everything over and fill in the employee card from left to right. And I'm pretty sure I messed that up when I took my turn, but I've remembered it now. So now it's my turn. I have a 4 and 1. So I'm going to purchase this Gear Architect for 3. And with my 1 and 1, I'm going to go to my reserve deck, which has Sorting Facilities and Corporate Ninjas in them. And I'm going to grab 1 of each and put it in my discard and shuffle. And once again, since the AI opponent only has 1 brass, he mines another brass. And he buys the Construction Sensei. All these cards move over. Next card comes into play. And it's my turn again. So you can see that the solitaire game moves pretty quickly, which is nice. First, I have a Corporate Ninja. So I'm going to use his ability and dismiss the clerk I have in my hand to acquire any card that's 3 or less. So I'm going to acquire this manager. Jesus, this is not a good table for this. This manager. And with my 3 construction, I am going to buy a sorting facility for 1. And with my 2, I'm going to mine for a point. Robot takes his turn. He's going to grab this card. All these move over. And a new employee comes into play. So the AI doesn't really do anything. He basically gives you, the way the solitaire game is designed is he gives you a chance to sort of build up your deck a little bit, because it gets very hard later on because he starts buying 1 card from each row. So if you haven't invested wisely, you could be in trouble. So I have 4 and 1. I can't do anything with my 1 construction, but the reason I bought this card is because blue cards have a high brass value in the deck, and I didn't want the AI to be able to purchase him. So I can't do anything with that 1 construction, but I have 4 labor, and I am going to purchase the Mimic so I can have a little bit more flexible and clone some of my cards later on. These move over as a new card enters, so everything's always moving to the right. And everything is always facing the player. The robot mines for 4 and is going to take this manager. Now it's my turn. I have 4 cards, which is not enough, so I need to shuffle. Take one more here. I'm going to build my building. And then I have 2 and 3. So with my 2 labor, I'm going to purchase the security guard. And then with my 3 construction, still a little short of buying something that I really want. So I'm going to purchase, I'm just going to mine for 1. So I'm running out of time here. The AI is going to start doing some pretty brutal stuff to me. He has 5, so I have 1 more turn where he's only going to buy from that top row before he starts buying from the design row as well. And obviously the thing I'm really worried about is him getting this artillery mech, which is going to net him a lot of points very quickly. So didn't get a very good draw, 4 and 1. I'm going to, with my 2, I'm going to buy a contractor. And then with my other 2, I'm going to buy this Frontier Dispatcher. And I can't do anything with my 1 here. My building does flip up, so I will use it to dismiss Union Worker from my deck. Draw 5 cards to end my turn. It's now the final turn I sort of have, so the AI now has 6 points. So when the AI has 7 points, he starts buying from both rows. So I sort of have 1 more turn to try to turn this around here. So I'll use my Corporate Ninja to dismiss a Union Worker and acquire a card that's 3 or less. I'll take the Construction Sensei. And then I'm going to build this building. And then I have a manager and a Watchkey Mimic, so I'm going to clone that for 4 total. And grab one of these cog foremans. So this is my last turn where the AI takes 1 card, and now it's going to start getting rough here next. So I need 4 more cards. Build another building. Use my Corporate Ninja on another Union Worker and upgrade that to a contractor. Then I have 3 construction. Not much to buy, so I'll just mine for 1 point. I want to leave that monorail marshal there for the AI to take. So now it's the AI's turn. He has 7 brass, so he's going to take 1 brass, buy this unit, and buy this cog foreman. The AI's units come right out into play, so they don't get shuffled through any sort of deck. So the AI now has this monorail marshal to come after me, basically. So luckily, I got to my security guard, so I can bring him out. So I'm going to use these 2 cards together, Cog Foreman for 2, then clone that, and I also pay 1 less for a building. So it's a total of 4 construction, but I can pay 2 less for a building. So I can get this brass bank for only 2. So I'll grab that. And then I'm left with 3 labor. And for 3 labor, I will just get this manager. Move all this over. So now it's the AI's turn. The AI always mines for 1 point. And we'll take both of these cards. So the AI opponent will always will attack my mining platform if I have more brass than they do showing, but the AI has 9 brass points and I only have 4. So he's just going to use this monorail marshal to mine for 1. Now it's my turn, and I'm in trouble because the AI has gotten that very large unit, which is going to wreak some havoc, and I have a very bad hand of mostly clerks. So I have 4 and 2. So first, with 2 and 2, I'm going to buy this samurai because he can do 3 damage, hopefully help. Hopefully help destroy the big bad unit, which leaves me 2 left. There's not much to buy with 2, so this actually may get, well, I may as well buy another security guard. That's my turn. So the AI buys from the design row. In this case, it's a building. Buildings come into play on their side, face up, and they will count towards his mining goal. He mines as many points as buildings he has in play, plus 1. So he mines for 1. This turn he acquires a building for, so next turn he's going to mine for 2. Then he also gets a manager. And both of his units, since I still don't have any more mining platforms than he did, are going to mine, so he's going to mine for 6. So I'm running out of time, as you can see. Sorry, I'm just shuffling my cards. Didn't do that ahead of time. I have 3. Okay, first up, there we go. Dispatcher, take a point, draw a card. Now I have 3 and 4. So I think what I'm going to do is I have 4 and 4. Well, that makes the decision much easier. I'm going to buy the aristocratic robot here. Now the AI has 1 building in play, so he gains 2 brass. I guess I should say it. It's not really a he or she. And he's going to acquire this card for his score. And another building. And then with his units, it's going to continue to take away from this pool and keep on its never-ending trek towards defeating me, probably. So I have 3 and 3, and I can pay 1 less construction for a building. So what I will do to maximize my points is I will use 2 and 3 with my ability to buy the human resources card. And then I have one left, which I'll purchase my last ninja. And I will use both of these now, destroy them, to dismiss 2 cards from my discard pile, so I'm going to need to shuffle soon. Hopefully that means I will get my better cards when we go through this deck one more time. And then finally, with my unit, I will I'll just mine for 1. Well, what I'll do is I'll actually attack and destroy the Marshal. Now, unlike in a normal game where the Monorail Marshal would go back in through the deck, the Monorail Marshal is destroyed and just goes in the AI's thing and will never come back. So once you defeat a unit in Solitaire, you don't have to worry about it returning, which is nice. But the AI still has this big monstrosity coming at me. We each get a point for destroying a card. And I only have a few turns left probably to turn this around. So it's the AI's turn. They're going to buy this Steam Cycle. And this card that's worth 7. And he's going to mine for 5. So this is probably my last turn. So first I will use my Corporate Ninja. Get a card that's 3 or less. Grab the Shock Saboteur because he's worth 3. I do have access to this, which is 1 brass per turn. A little late. That Samurai I bought is finally here. With my 1 labor, I'll buy the Thief. And finally with my 2 construction, I'll just mine for a point. So that's my last turn. The AI is going to take his final turn, which is going to be acquiring this card and acquiring this card. Mining for 3 points with 3 buildings out. Let's take 2 back. And then with it's 2 units from the previous turn, it's going to mine for 6 more. And that's the game. I think my deck is probably worth more, but I'll just put in the comments the final score rather than sitting here watching me tally everything up. But those are the basics of how you play a solitaire game. Obviously it goes pretty quickly, so you can play a few different matches. I've designed it to be difficult. It's definitely in favor of the AI, but it is winnable. Just takes a little bit of luck and you know, some very good early decisions, which I probably didn't make this round. So thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.